And grandsheni paneshe, Nanzara teacher dear Pinyamin chain. She dear soon petty crime. Nina Ninyamiasem. To the found to Nipasue, when Nipamo wants to yard it to a bee. Nansu yati kwa mudia, and it has so mubia. Sudian son into was here. Ain't you nyami be?
And we are streaming live on CCR TV, the youth channel 5. And as usual on your program, the world and the Christian. Today our topic for discussion is the Christian and contemporary lifestyle. And this topic is so dear to my heart, and I know viewers watching us on your television screen. And today's a special program, and we have audience in the conference room. Not just like the ordinary discussion we have. Today's discussion is very important. I'll entreat you to take your jotter, pen down some questions. And when the phone lines are open, we entreat you listeners to call in and contribute. And as my guest sitting before us, you can also raise up your hand and we can call on you to give discussion about the program. Today in this program we have distinguished personalities who have excelled in their various vocations and academic levels. And we are discussing this topic, the Christian and contemporary lifestyle. To start with, the gentleman immediate to me is Cardinal Jebuni Joseph. Cardinal Jebuni Joseph is in charge of music in the Vatican. Next to me is Dr. Blandi Sophia. Dr. Blandi Sophia holds PhD in fashion designing. The gentleman in the tie, yes as I am, is Dr. Dogoli Ignatius, a clinical psychologist. Last but not least is Professor Albina Latour, an expert in relationship and marriage counselor. And his organization is called GCO, Global Christian Organization. I am your regular host, Dr. D, popularly known as Dr. Dama. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome. But we have a very dedicated correspondent who has dedicated his entire life to this television station, and he's in the person of Professor Luis. Professor Luis corresponding today because the program is so vital. He has to come down and be with us in this conference. Dr. Luis will be coming to you as the congregation or the audience just on the topic. What are your expectations about today's topic, the Christian and contemporary lifestyle? Dr. Luis, can I see you?
Yes, I am here.
All right.
As he has rightly mentioned, I am Professor Luis Tomasa.
Sorry, I said Doctor. Professor.
Professor. Okay. I am an expert in communication, and today is a special occasion of our program. That's why we have an audience here. Now, do the program live. So, celebrating the comfort of your home and be with us. But before we kickstart the discussion, I would like to find out if you have any opinions, philosophies, objections as far as Christianity and contemporary lifestyle are concerned? Your own opinion. Do they have an effect on each other? Or there are two distinct things that do not even have a connection? So when I come to you, I'd like to tell me your sincere opinion. Just tell me your name and what you think. I have a very beautiful lady seated here. I'd like to know your name and tell me what your opinions are. Do you have any philosophies as far as your Christian life and your contemporary lifestyle are concerned? Are there any connections? Can you tell me?
Thank you very much. My name is Betty Piambaya. I think that Christian life and the contemporary world have a connection because if we look at how things are moving, the way modernization and a lot of things are changing in our society, if we don't look at those things very well, they are going to have an effect on our Christian life. This is because a lot of things in our world today are changing, and an example can be the way we dress. If we look at the way we used to dress over 50 years ago and the way we dress today, and we want to ignore the Christian part and still think it is those days, and these days the dressing has changed. If we don't do something as Christians, I think it's going to have an effect on us.
Thank you very much. She has clearly stated her opinion. You know, when you are dealing with media, you need to be gender sensitive. Because in this era, we have a plethora of people that always seek to look at everything in two dimensions, a man and a woman. Against this backdrop, I'll speak to a man. I have a handsome gentleman here and I'll ask him for his opinion.
My name is Ifra Ebu. When you look at what is going on in this world today, you see that many things are turning around. So we have to get our belt and focus to our Christian life and live the way God called us in the area.
If you refuse to smile, I'll point at you. Okay, I'll
For the sake of time, Professor Lee, if we can have only 2 and 3.
Sorry, I did. Okay, that will be my last submission. Okay. She seems to be a Igbo as far as what we are talking about. So, trying to see who else is ready to speak to me. If there's no one volunteering, I shall volunteer someone.
My name is Aklen Nagado. To me, Christianity and the Western life is something else. Because if you mean to live your life in the Christian way and you ignore the other side of life, that's the Western life, contemporary life, life is not going to be easy with you. But in the other way around, we mustn't forget that when we finish from this world, we are going back to where we came from. And Christianity is the only way you can go back to your Father. You can dress neatly, look cute, do all the things that you think they will make you a modern girl, but don't forget your Creator.
Thank you very much for that comment.
Okay, Professor Lee, I think we said 3, okay?
Okay.
So, before we can start our discussion with my August personalities, I think we will be taking a break and we will be right back. Whether we can state some other contemporary issues that are affecting our Christian life.
Oh, yes.
Thank you very much for inviting me to this special occasion. But music is another one. There are a lot of modern music around, so it's not just only what they mentioned, and I don't even think we can mention all of them.
Okay, she said, dressing you have talked about music. Yeah, Dr. Sophia.
Thank you very much for inviting me for this program. But what I also add to is wealth. For Christians, we think wealth is everything. We can acquire, see people going wayward to get money and other to do other things. I think it's also one.
So acquisition of wealth nowadays is a contemporary issue we are dealing with. All right.
Yes.
Dr. The name Ignatius Doboli, yes.
Oh, Dr. Barka. Mateka, Daguma Yale and the Sana to Campana di Polani Posare, a Palatinum Crossa, Yale.
All right, Prof. Can you message us at least one or two?
Yes, in relationship and sex. Can add program.
Oh, because that's your special area. Relationship and sex is a contemporary issue we are dealing with. Let's start on our discussion because we can't really hit on all this. Cardinal Jabuli, you are in charge of music in the Vatican. Before you came to this studio or to this conference, at least you play some kind of music in your car. You alone knows the kind of music you play. What kind of music affect our Christian life, and we can call them contemporary?
Thank you very much. Any music that does not tell of God's glory, that does not teach about God, or that does not draw you closer to God, is against or is threatening the church today. There are a lot of people who are composing music, or should I say, who are bringing together words, putting instruments together, dancing around, which has nothing to do with Christianity. So there are a lot of things that are threatening that. There are a lot of sex music that are threatening the church.
So are you saying because the Bible says that in this world we are not of the world? Doesn't mean that we have nothing to do with the world. Because I sing gospel in church, I play gospel, and I'm in the world. Don't I have to listen to other worldly music?
Music is a vital tool in the society. It's a very sensitive object, should I say so. Even William Shakespeare, a popular writer, said, music is the food of the soul. Now, if you are a Christian and you listen to a music that does not draw you closer to your God, and that's the music that feeds your soul, whatever that feeds you controls you.
I like that. I like that better. It means what you eat is what you become.
Exactly.
That what nourishes you.
Yeah.
So if you nourish your soul with worldly music, it means you are not of God.
You are going away from God. And even for the sake of this program, I researched into the music. One of the popular people writers said he has given his soul to the devil, and it's a fair thing. That's one of his songs. And when the youth of today were listening to such songs, I wonder whether we pay close attention to the lyrics that they release, but we dance to it. And I was shocked some few days ago to learn that Lord Kenya, I'm not familiar with him, that he has repented. And that he's saying that nobody should play his music. DJs, previously, they should play his music again because he's born again. Then I was still wondering, if you are still born again, then what will you do? Does that mean that the way the music will be playing around has something bad or what? So each set people who complete the songs for us, one by one are confessing they are out of it. Now, you, what do you have to reason? How do you have to reason? So music, I should say, or repeat, is eating deep into the church. So far as modern or contemporary world is concerned, and we have to work seriously against them.
Okay,
let me take my submission, let me take this quotation from the book of Chronicles, First Chronicles, chapter 16, verse 9. And it says that, sing to him praises to him. Tell of his wonderful things or wonderful things. Now, if God is telling us to sing to him about his wonderful things, now we are singing, we are not acknowledging God in, then we are very far away. And for us Christians, we have to watch very close against some of these things. Thank you very much.
Dr. Against your point, it means sing praises to him, his name. Tell about the good things he has done, and that is gospel, and that's your background. Okay. Even though that's a special area, so Professor Albina Batu, can you say there are some kind of maybe movement or some particular song? Can you mention a particular song that's contemporary, and you think that it's not good for the church to imitate?
Before I make my establishment, I think I have to make it clear that contemporary doesn't necessarily mean bad. Okay. We are just talking about the things that are happening in this modern century. Because there is spirit behind music. It's not just the words or the beats that we hear, but there is spirit behind it that draws us to do things. So the sad thing is that you are not fully aware that it's the music you listen to maybe some years ago that is drawing you to do certain things. Okay. But that is actually the fact. It happens unconsciously. Music feeds into our system even without us knowing. Okay. And I don't see the difficulty in Christians sticking to good gospel. Okay. That is how.
So I ever came across the name, was it Omar Reese, that Luminary or Illuminati? I think is that the kind of background you are talking about? There's a spirit behind the music. Okay. There are a lot of issues. I just what you said, I like your point that there are current issues. It doesn't necessarily mean they are bad, but how we use or how we involve ourselves with them. I've seen Cardinal, he's not reading from the Bible, but on the phone he has told to read the Bible, and this contemporary. Okay, but I think this, if Cardinal will go to church with the phone and read from it, it won't be really good enough. But as he sent the Bible to church to preach, is that what I'm talking about? But this can also help him mobile, in reading his Bible. All right, these are contemporary issues. Listeners, as you are feeding yourself in this conversation, it's not only about music. Dr. Sophia Blandi, you hold PhD in fashion designing. Fashion, or let's say dressing. How does a Christian need to dress? We're not talking about only clothes. I think it's talking about makeup and all that. As a Christian, how do we have to dress? Even though we're in a contemporary time, but we want to serve God.
As a Christian, I wasn't Kataman to Robumi. As a Kataman year, Buma apart in a Kanya Dama 1 year of chapter 3 years, Christa Dielania Masovan and China. The man I yell a very mini Bama year, a Bola, Mamma dressing a negative way. Show yourself.
Show yourself?
Yes. I want year a corona marathon. Kanya Banzinga, on a near Poenga draw our city. Wow. I mean, I from real about the man, and in our young, we can use in Messambik and use low pool. A more can near what Maka for the mansion. I didn't know my gift. Come on, be an upon our visa, Makema. Asuka asuka with Christian. Mr. Niemans is in the Massa, also boom mazu, Ukumantos, so once in fame, one tapping woman. Check out near Mama. Charity begins at home. So I'm going to tell you that man the love carrying amber and show your back. One billion will be show your back at the tender age. Oh no, the other side carrying a woman do and oh no, you can't tell me because who know Banda be in the Zunda, Onya Usu, Anasayel, and Water Ocean. And a checker, allow young and no to Posari, Papa Posari, even I'll Usu. I will just animated up the other listen to Baka, so don't go over the minute the Macomba gun door. Door number to Pame at the lady and I talking. What the Baba Yumba, Monta lady at asu aso ta amene ga an ina pampa pampa apa to man ne na peluzu awo kuma ngata da ba ule wa ka ba wo yam ta agana to ba za hon ta moto ayam buah boyel or mesa o kusoro na mesa kaba sama boyel ona yelo yelo kubuna ka kana mba para putu suria ko kare yelo na ambiti sichi ayala ma iya pa na na ti krisadi anse kati yo ka de ya ba
Doctor Dogoli who ona yeka auka bunyare kan kawai su wani yau mai ka kawo karamin kada mun ka isiki a can ce a babu mai ne ka sampo ne ka kawo ta di bagar kuma bozu ka hun di bagar kuma ko to yin kan bai ya na kubo ce ana kai adana ganu butu su kuma basu ba so hun doctor ko pielo ko ka hoyi yele la cha mun ko yele to
doctor yele ma ta ka yele jahanam bu suri berigan a jahanam istabili wa fa te kada lawla ba ka yele jarane apogwa zena ka hu ka berigan a jarane azu pogwa wa no ba mine na ma ru ba ma pal bazu kale ben ba ka ba mine ba la boro be sa da
se poko yo la ko ba nye bi da ba chesu u yin wol nar dan da
Papa Male Suyo, we know 1 million, 2 million, come on, Male Suyo. Kaleba Kapapa Meba, Panamata, Kabala Pora Saga, Kabu Yerigan, Minabala Pora Saga, Kaoka Manga, Bills, Akanama, Bills, Akanama. Jaika, Pobuya is green, Pona Anga, Kitchen, one answer in them. Jaika, Puya and the Yamata, Naman. To Pampana to put on a manga.
Okay.
Pampan even for people who come and say, and as I soon know, going to will you in the farm of Pogos.
Japan don't touch you. Okay. Doctor, I'm going to come enough of addressing. Professor Nachu, more council. Kahu ya kuma mile gere ka osha the osha zambi a cheje ay ka pata pe fara ka dana yo
it's a very dicey issue.
Dicey parallel ayesu zulu ko ko be ka ba karo bata karo okay.
And then what I would say concerning that is, Christians ought to understand that if we live indeed by the Spirit, then we should walk in the Spirit. And that is how St. Paul puts it. So it's as simple as that. For an usher driving away somebody because she's not well dressed, it's not the best. The person is not well dressed, but she has come to church. Now, if you drive her away from church, later on, then you now go from house to house to evangelize. As in we evangelize the person. It's not logical. If the person is coming to church, all you know, that is where the person will meet their salvation.
Okay.
So I found her.
So can you call that person just beside you and advise the person? All right. I think enough of the dressing. We have talked about music. We have talked about dressing. Now, there's this controversial something. From here, I'm going to take a bottle of drink. I have a stock of wine and beer in my fridge, and I drink because there was this occasion that Jesus made water into wine, and I based on it and I drink. I did my head off. Dr. Dogoli, you are a clinical psychologist. How does that have effects on the youth and me who take alcohol and take its pleasure or I have money? But before we say anything, let's acknowledge our sponsors. I think this water is coming from Sophia Fashions and what's the name? Sophia Fashions and Business Amalia Company Limited, and you can then get nourished water and then a lot of food, drinks, and then cosmetics from them. All right, can you continue?
Doctor, but sir, can you say Proverbs 31 verse 1 to 7, Ephesians 5:18, Galatians 5:15 to 21. Sir, can say that to read Isaiah 5:22. You are doomed, heroes of wine bottle, brave and fearless when it comes to mixing drinks. But for just a bribe, you let the guilt go free, and you prevent the innocent from getting justice. Yelburi lame namin tuntuna Isaiah nande yelbute. Kawala, jani Korean, awa balon akute. Amma ben kate era yel ambassade kate era kamina dawla. Katino wani dam koni. Dani ya suma, te awni koni namba suma. Boso kamu wani dam koni. Kuma era yela ambache kojane. Kuma tunatuma za I woke up then ubache beche era yela. Kamina dawla. Dabienzo bada che gosile. Pelente ubache be. Kuma era yela anga tapel. Boso yensu te manyuro dam kati ayukuni. Oh kati yenyu dam a inite kunta yela. Yenyu dam a ine nuba binena a yela bine satupo. Kama yinga wa falo akute. Kati no wenyu akuni. Amata falo yanga de akute. Kamine la wana. Ama keme nam abete ingan. Alabe tilla zinyagaba. Tuma yela bala gere limitore. Alta yela falo yela akute. So man na sor Krista birka tiben katidani kunna ka umasi katina na katino ontom mago bala to chekte kulie masi kale na sonte te Krista birko bonso ka hunka kanye wati leader kuli ogontom da mesa na te yelza kunanga che otaba kuna te dona na bantiere samina tinanga bisa kurko ndoka na odawani na manyudan lente pa atitaka ogwabala zuru amasare kanaza so onda ma erele ko kanu yele bale gere mitore finally asa kupo ko una batwa nyebo na unaga asku kwa wote ne and manda watiere tinanda be yirko amanga misa ka tinsumisa wata bikola na posare ana atinyin nyane mineba ba mengana manwe dane to the extent that kabanu waga misa gomo yomba mati gompa alendare baba gele yirgana solun taba mangana doctor namba bare ati yeme po ati babi nene ti mamine
so ho yana na breda nu mama mo bure che ma nu ma ngakiri bama na fatuma and very bad kadna just 30 seconds on Adan Nuno.
So, we are not young man and that you want. Compana, I'm years, Yena, under our weddings here. Camina, I take a time you I get him, Messa, father will be done. Kama na Messa. Jaya na sing Carabana, and yet down like a Papa, what happened on your bird, some over. I know that a bird at the road. Near that, and yet be about it, and yet there are more Raponza and now form. From that, Yana, Bona on board, no for Terranka, Bona meeting, Budama, Tona, left round. So Yama, okay, someone talking, Kana, Yamana, Kakani, Kaba, Nitin, Tuna Zidman, Poma, do not take wine. As a ruler, I'm going to have a job of Masareka, Atchison, about the leader, 9 years ago. So, Professor, you have something to say about it. Just 30 seconds before we move on to another topic.
Okay, what I have to say is this. When you see one act as painted, what it means that they don't even want to take it at all.
Not even small. I like that. Because they have repented. Because they know the consequences of it.
They know how it started, how it might affect that level. So if you think that this is small and leave you somewhere one day, then They just stop it. After all, even though they say scientifically books and alcohol in our system, we have alcohol in fermented storage, alcohol in some it's not necessarily the drink that is going to be alcohol.
Alright, listeners who watching us from the television screens and my audience, you have heard it all. It doesn't mean that taking drink is because they say the body is alcohol, you have to take in alcohol, they say you need alcohol. Or like I said, the Bible says Jesus turned water into wine, you should go drinking. Based on that, you will be lost. Because the Bible is a double-edged sword. Amen? Alright. We acknowledge my sponsors one more time. Sophia Fashions and Design, and then Amalia Ventures. You can get your bottled water and cosmetics from them. Before we go on the phone lines, or our audience to contribute, you are experts in relationship and marriage, and today is something that's eating into our society. It's like within relationship is just about, man and woman, following and doing all that kind of things. As a Christian, how do we, go with our relationship and marriage that would be acceptable in the eyes of God and the eyes of the man?
Okay, thank you very much once again, Dr. In fact, when we talk about relationship these days, my heart bleeds because of the kind of things that are happening. In contemporary times, we don't have a line between relationship and sex. We think it's just one thing. And Christians go about asking, are there any principles for Christian relationship? What I would say is, you will not find in the Bible maybe a subheading, this is what Christians should do when they are in a relationship. But the Bible talks a lot about purity. And I want us to read together a text from 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 3 down. I read. God wants you to be holy and completely, I repeat, completely free from sexual immorality. Each of you men should know how to live with his wife in a holy and honorable way, not with a lustful desire like the heathen who do not know God. If you read on and on, it still talks about sexual purity. And then if you read Ephesians 5, verse 3 downwards, Paul will even tell them that he doesn't want to hear even a hint of sexual immorality among them. This should tell you how much that seems to be the order of the day. But in Christianity, that is not the main focus. You go into Christianity relationship because of marriage and marriage alone. So you shouldn't have any other reason. So that in its own way should affect your timing. You don't start a relationship while you are in JSS expecting to finish school before you get married, and then you expect that nothing should happen. You are dating for far too long, and you are human. You can be tempted to do anything. So we should know the reasons why we are going into relationship. Know the timing. If you expect to get married in like even 6 years time, I don't see the reason why you should start dating, because you are only tempting yourself and opening yourself up to evil ways. Another thing is that we should know the kind of people we go out with. You don't just go into relationship with anybody because you think time is catching up with you. Understand that you are a child of God and you ought to walk in the principles of God, even in your relationship. So you should be careful the kind of person you go into it, because even if you are mindful of the fact that God wants you to be pure, and the person does not stand by those principles, it wouldn't work that way. You will find yourself in one way or the other falling into the person's own life. So in brief, we should know when to go into relationship, have reasons for them, know the right kind of people to go into relationship with, and then even while we are dating, while we are in relationship, we should discuss it with our partners. Discuss with your partner that yes, I do not want to involve myself in sexual immorality while in a relationship. And as workout, let's learn to share challenges also. If you think that you are being tempted, share it with a Christian brother or sister. For all you know, the person has once handled it and might be able to advise you on it. When we talk about sex-giving relationships, some Christians go like, okay, I'm not having sex, we just kiss, we only fondle, there is no sex involved. But that is immoral. Remember what the Lord wants from us is absolute purity, and it is possible. It's very possible. I know of at least 5 couples, CTR youth, charismatic youth, who dated throughout the period. They never had sex until the day their marriage was blessed. So I want to encourage the Christian youth that it is very possible, and then we can do it. Thank you.
All right, Professor Latu, I like your submission. And when you talk about the timing is very important, the kind of relationship you are going in. But today, don't you think they'll call you Kuno? That we are no more in the Stone Age. So be abreast of time. There's technology, because you are growing, things are changing. So you need to go by that.
Yeah. No, you are right. One Christian.
That's what the friends will tell me.
Yeah, one Christian you ever walked up to me and asked, but don't you think that Christian relationships will be boring if there is no hugging, there is no kissing, there is no fondling? I said no. You see, if you are really in love with somebody, even the person's presence makes you fulfilled. Get satisfied.
Okay.
You are chatting with the person.
Like you are in the presence of God.
Yes, you are chatting with the person and you feel like you are in heaven. So it is not the immorality that brings us joy.
All right. Before we will open the phone lines and I'll go to my audience for contributions, let us take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Social media content every day without necessarily thinking about it. That is because the media is framed in such a way that you look at it, you consume its content, taking into consideration the entertainment aspect, so that you are not even critical about it. I would like to delve a little into some background of communication so that you can understand what I'll be delving into. Media is either a window through which we see another world. I repeat, media is a window through which we see another world, or a reflection of our own world. Some people seem to be confused by this. I'll explain. Now, when I say it's a reflection by which we see another world, let's take for instance science fiction. Watch a movie, it is about science fiction. They are using all the complicated gadgets you have never seen in the world. That is a window by which we are seeing another world, which may come one day or may not even exist at all until we die. And then when I talk about that, it is a reflection of our own world. That is because what you see in everyday life, what you witness in everyday life, you see it in the media. I'll give you an example. Choco Trotro. If you have lived in Accra before, or in any of the big cities, you see the way the meat is called. Choco, oyalo. Sorry. It is typical in Accra. That is a reflection of our society. That is it. You see a driver mate, he is trim, he has his girlfriend, he's struggling to make the girl happy. It is a reflection of our Ghanaian society. It is in existence. However, a lot of the media content which we have nowadays, which we consume, is rather portrays a window through which we see another world. I'll give you an example. Most of the telenovelas that we have do not reflect our Ghanaian lifestyle at all. So today we have a young man, he's dating a lady, they are preparing to get married. And the lady, or even the young man, expects more their relationship as they see in that telenovela. You watch Cares by the Sea, and what are the others? Can someone mention it? Correct, you have heard it. And you think that what is happening in that particular media content should be reflected in your life because you think that is the reality. That is why I said that sometimes we watch the media content, but then we concentrate so much on the entertainment aspect that we refuse to be critical. So we consume everything, hook, line, and sinker like a fish. Because when you throw a hook and a line into the sea, the fish swallows it. But even wondering that yes, beside the meat I am consuming or that flesh, there's a hook there. And that is the way the media is controlling us. So you watch that particular media content, it excites you, it appeals to your emotions, you are so happy about it. And it translates in every aspect. In our movies, music, fashion, and you know what they do? These days, they portray the fashion in this particular life, in our music videos, in our movies. I'm not saying that all the fashion that we portray there is bad. But I've seen this at the GTV news app. I've seen a young man, a very nice star. And the natural fact, when I get my piece of news star, I'll like to show it to that star. That is a good aspect. Okay? Alright. I'll just listen. Come on. So when we begin to mold our life in this particular aspect, we tend not to see the reality. So in conclusion, I'll say that as we watch media content, as we consume it every day, let us ask ourselves, does this reflect reality? That's the question. Does the media content we consume reflect reality? And even if it reflects reality, does this suit my lifestyle? Does this suit the life I am living as a Christian? Thank you.
Thank you very much. For giving us a very wonderful submission about the media. Now, the audience are with you, and we have intellectual people, we have elders, and they want to contribute to the program. Please, you can do hand over the mic to anybody that want to contribute about the contemporary issues in our Christian life today.
I am Abraham. It doesn't go like you take one style and then leave the others. So as for music goes with dressing. It goes unhealthy relationships can come out of it, and then so many things, and then the drinks too come. So contemporary lifestyles, those aspects that you are discussing, and then professors and doctors have done perfectly with it, and then it goes with each other.
In fact, I would like to say that there are some kind of things that pull us towards relationship. There are so many things that cause our relationship, like when I see the love aspect, you check the junior high students and the institute students, we can understand the concept, love or relationship. I have used a simple insight, kind of research, and I find out that the days of the ladies, is going into like unmature or wrong relationship. When I say or wrong relationship, this is a kind that doesn't lead to anything good. Now, if you come across a lady and you start to say words like I love you, you are a beautiful lady in the world, you are the only number of my number two, then the lady becomes a I get to me. Now, like, check our with the boys to like our eyes. The moment we see someone dressed in a very fun way, then we are tempted. So the weakest part of the female is the ears, and the weakest part of the man is the eyes. What we hear and what we see are things that are bringing our
At that time, the baby in the womb is not a human being, it's a fetus. If I eat an egg, doesn't mean that I kill a chicken. But I just want to give this scenario. The child or the fetus in the womb has life. It's just like a relationship. It's a matter of issues about love. It's about time. If I should approach a lady today and say, I love you, will you love me? It will take some time for me to see whether the lady loves me, or for me telling that the lady that I love the lady. It will take time for that to show. So in the same way, let's give time and see whether that fetus in the womb has life or not. If you give time, at the end of the day, you see that that thing you said it was a fetus and doesn't have anything concerning life, it has life. So I think we Christians must be very careful about issues people from bring about you. It doesn't have life. If you eat an egg, doesn't mean that I'm feeling again. So we have to be very careful.
Thank you. That's a contemporary issue.
We are not content with what we have. Nowadays, people enter into relationship because of wealth. Because you've seen that somebody is having something. You don't know how the person came by. You also want to enter into a relationship that you can acquire what the person is having. So I think we should content with what we have as Christians.
Alcohol. The other one, if you don't give, you are going
sex and relationship?
Yes.
Or marriage? Okay.
As for alcohol, if I have a way of ensuring that, especially the government, that is better than me, I will do it. Because you will see that most of our problems are traced to alcohol. And we give the excuse that can disappoint and more. They were using the thing on the farm. Do we also use it on the farm? No. And there is no compromise when it comes to once you take it, you excite yourself. And that is where, if you like, watch it. The probability that you go into premarital sex is very high if you go out with your is it Intel or whatever to the beer bar. Because once the two of you take alcohol, you get excited and your head doesn't function again. Is that okay? So I would advise any you to go into alcohol. Let them say that you are good. Tell them that principles were there before technology came. And indeed, technology itself evolved from that principles. So if you get the principle wrong, it doesn't matter. You always get everything wrong. You dress and they tell you your dressing is good. Or if you don't eat, you are good. If somebody wants to marry you and tells you that he or she loves you, the person should not hurt you. And it is hurting when you sleep with somebody before marrying the person.
All right, thank you.
We have talked about things that are destroying mankind today. And we know that many of our youth other tertiary institutions go into weed and other things like cocaine, heroin, and cannabis. And these are some of the things that we need to watch out, because these are the other things that are destroying us. So apart from alcohol, these are the other things that are destroying our youth. And I think that our youth have to be extra careful. The caliber of people that are around you, you have to watch out. And accordingly, in schools today, people are practicing it. In fact, those are some of the things we experience in the Hill and Development, especially from students. Many students who come for counseling who are taking to Hill and Development will confess to you that they ever got themselves involved in accounting. So let us work out on these areas.
Thank you very much, Dr. John, for that good submission. We were supposed to end exactly 4:45, but by the power invested in my productive team, our executive producer has added us 5 minutes, and we can still take more contributions. All right. So can we have some 2 other contributions? I think the other votes has raised the hand. I can see. Yes.
Praise the Lord.
Bad companies ruin good morals. Bad companies ruin good morals. And we should observe people will take as our partners or our companions or our peer group members. Because if you follow the government, so when we look on car and car from Jara, from the car and Jara, Java Bangus, Mako car on Jara, Java Hunan Turu, Baka,
to kunyera ye far ke garo ma azin so ma da ke ne zuma na na ke na. And through prayer you get to identify the good company and then the bad company. Then you avoid the bad company. Some people can easily lure you, you think they are good, eventually you find that their last life is a reverse. And before you realize you are already worried again. So what do you do? So we should be very cautious about people who choose as friends and companions. Thank you.
Our mothers, I am not seeing your hands.
Yes,
your voices.
Praise the Lord. What I would like to share on is about freedom to express ourselves, what we see. See, these days it's like because of media. I think it comes from what we see. Sometimes the way we look at things and then we talk about them also leads to other things. And I think it is not fine for us as Christians. As Christians, our language should be very meaningful. Our choice of words, even sometimes in our homes, because of probably the society in which we are living in, we decide to adapt some kind of a lifestyle, especially when it comes to the choice of words. Like somebody insulting another, this is a mere other thing. We as Christians, we also go into saying things like that. I don't think it is good for a Christian to insult your own child, this is a mere and other things. It is actually a very serious issue. And so other things like the youth today, because we mingle with other people and then what we see, especially on our televisions and other things, you use certain words that are known, especially these comedians, some of the things that they see them go about saying the same thing. So we have to be very careful with some of these things.
All right, thank you very much, our coordinator. And we have our last contributor because we are hitting time. We are just getting, time is on our side. And we have not only our mom to give, we give her just 1 minute for it our time.
Thank you very much. Before I start, I will ask one question. And we as Christians, are we to follow fashion? Any fashion that comes out, you see, Christians also begin to follow anything at all that comes out. They see as a fashion they want to buy. Is it good? Let us ask ourselves as Christians whether fashions are good for us. And your partner, one of them mentioned that charity begins at home. Let us say that our children, I am giving birth to the child. It's not the child that has given birth to me, so that it will dictate to me what to wear. So we should be very careful and train our children as
Thank you very much. Can you put your hands together for yourself for this wonderful submission for your guests? I would like your contributions. They said, well, you are not monopoly of knowledge. You have it and you have shared. Take a yelty yelaka, yana erati pampana, boka yelfar lecha, bona anagam, ka, kaula to kiss a birim, petcheni ponka, to go to Lusun, tea and yele, Chelenka boyer to Chelapana, Christabiri, Papa to Banga Yelani, Bambana, Zotuna, Amineka, Luminati songs. Amazati Yelakawa, Ata Vur farm and Anagaka Christabir, Nivoro, a conventional song, Anaka Professor Latoya, Kadami Yele. Yele ye asima kwa asie boyela tu wasinche tisia yela tuwa kasima yela tunambe deal amosabera to capability just yela tuwa so se karo kwa tisia sima na ansan kadi ante gartela kisabi yele by karla ga to yare mizi ka show your back ka skin tight to show your vital statistics. That is very bad. I am aware. God, let's change all that. As Christian, Karbara Arabo Yarena, Anakata Maya Yelava Panaka, Tita Tura Atune, Karturo, Anana Krista, Anan Ababu Karago. Tayela Tare, Dan Yupo, Timu Numaeka, Dan Ureza, an yi ta pa hoda banya bon da long ingen hoda banya yen bro ingen zrila uno misi o biri ntiere ka ndokna da nyida ado yin kuma ka uriye da ne ka yin ko nyida ka bara abara za ko ko be na manda ka ko ko matala ya maziri uzum adando kama ndi muturi poya ka o kana dai bile kuya na dai bile ko so ama ga yawa ziri ko ba dando to maziri give us promises tama ma yele te doba nan te power ya tare manka to ta dan kara ya iri a yino barbe a andune tunan turo Mr. Biri Lieutenant to power anan to doba ya tare and time but I just want to thank my August guests for honoring this invitation. Some have to fly from Italy, Vatican. Some are coming from the Europeans. And our dear fashion ladies coming all the way from New York. And you know New York, that's what fashion is. So I just want to thank them so much. Thank you very much for coming. And audience and viewers, thank you. This will bring our curtains down. Bye-bye.